in a big hole at this point. You get a tech fall to start, but 3 straight from Maryland. If you're Storniolo right here, you got to find a way to get your guys going.
And this is a great wrestler to do it with right now for Northwestern. Now at 157, it's Trevor Chumbley going up against Michael North, who escapes that.
How about the two going at it right from the get-go?
And this will be our only ranked matchup of the afternoon, Ben. And Michael North, we saw him give a valiant effort against Zach Matton in a decision win for Matton, but North, who just lost his perfect dual record on Friday, he's going to avenge that here, trying to go up against the favored Chumbley.
And this is a big test for Michael North. And we said that on Friday as well, but the challenge doesn't get any easier from there. 157 is a very coveted weight class, especially in the Big Ten. This is not even the best wrestler probably that North is going to have to face at some point in this season. So it's all about those building blocks, improving.
You mentioned how North has been a building block. As a redshirt senior, one of the older Maryland wrestlers, as he goes for the right leg of Chumbley, trying to be awarded the first points of this bout. But he's one of the rare wrestlers, too, Ben, that wasn't here when Clemson took over 5 seasons ago. So he's one of their guys now, Clemson was saying, but working to turn him into a leader and understand the culture that Clemson is trying to bring to a Maryland team that, again, not much success as of recently against Big Ten competition.
Clemson alluded to how satisfied he's really been with the players that he was given or handed to him essentially when he took over this program. He said they've done a great job of, accepting what he's been trying to do and really trying to build something, and they've wanted to be a part of it. North just battled one of those guys.
Yeah, and battled injuries too over his years in College Park. Goes down for both legs, working to get into takedown positioning. But instead, it's Chumbley over top of North, and Chumbley comes in with an impressive resume himself, an NCAA qualifier. He's trying to get the first points of this weight class. Chumbley finished at 4th place in last year's Big Ten championship at the 157 weight class. Over and moving over North is Chumbley. And they'll bring it back into the middle.
It's almost impressive how much action there's been from these two wrestlers and still no points. Both doing a really good job at going for the aggressive takedown, but not letting it happen. Great strength on both sides.
You can see, too, both wrestlers trying to feed what their coaches need. We talked about Alex Clemson wanting to see more effort. The Miller brothers do it, and North tries to do the same here. And then, on the contrary, Chumbley trying to energize Matt Storniolo's team, who hasn't really had that energy since 125.
And there's something to be said about when a team gets hot like Maryland has through these past 3 bouts. When you're wrestling and you see the guy before you, your brother essentially, Maryland wanting to be one of those tight-knit teams, everyone together in unison. So when you see someone on your team getting it done, getting the crowd into it, that gets you ready to go. That gets you in a different mental state as opposed to Northwestern, who's now seen 3 straight tech falls. It's always easier to play ahead.
And that's what we're seeing Maryland having the luxury of doing right there. Was North, who may have gotten bailed out by that first period whistle. It was Chumbley who had his right leg up in the air, and if he swooped at that leg, it could have been a takedown for the redshirt senior Chumbley. But to start the second period, it's North on top. And a quick move from Chumbley at the bottom. It's almost like a face-off in lacrosse in this position, Ben. You can just see the speed in which both wrestlers try to maintain their advantage, whether it's North on top or Chumbley for the escape opportunity that he has yet again. And getting it, there is Chumbley, as I said.
That's a tough position to be in if you're North. Chumbley, of course, very good, very strong, so you knew he had kind of the upper advantage of getting that escape point right there. North, in that situation, you have to try to get him back on the ground maybe and not allow that to happen, but just a very tough situation.
Both wrestlers haven't spent much time in this weight class on the ground as North tries to flip over Chumbley and gets it there. Trying to work in now into a pin position. And 3 points will be awarded for North right there. Our first 3 of this one. It's a near fall that comes for Chumbley and 3 points for Michael North. North, this is where the riding time will start for two of the most experienced
trying to get to that
wrestlers
sideline
on either team. Yep. So something to be said too about the strength of Michael North, in which the only thing Chumbley can do is again try and maneuver towards that sideline, get it back into the middle.
And North, after the escape from Chumbley, he just took full control right there. And that's why Chumbley had to resort to stalling over towards the sideline. He had to get out of a dangerous position right there. So smart play. Credit to him. Maryland didn't like it, of course, but got to give credit where credit is due right there for Northwestern.
Again, quick off the whistle. Chumbley into the hands of North, who throws him down. No takedown yet. But North showing the strength there again, getting Chumbley where he needed him, and then bringing him to the mat.
That was what I was talking about for the last one, Ryan. When you're in that position, if you're Michael North and you can't let him escape, you have to try to get him back on the ground, and he did it in an emphatic way right there with the slam.
They won't get the points for a takedown, but they'll start getting it towards the riding time here. There's North pinning the right leg and arm of Chumbley. And putting an exclamation mark to end this second period. Chumbley will look for an escape, but just be content to let it go towards the buzzer. A minute 25 of riding time in favor of Michael North, and it comes with a takedown like this.
And it's crazy how dominant North has been, especially in that second period. The score still lays just 3-1, so one takedown can really change things in the swing of Northwestern's favor in a flash. You got to be careful here if you're North still.
An impressive move there from Chumbley, who didn't hit the takedown, and North gets his first escape of the bout. So an emphatic slam there to end our second period for North. Got the riding time again, but no takedown points. North works his way back up right in front of us, and they'll say just going out of bounds. So this time, getting outside the perimeter won't work to Chumbley's advantage as it did earlier.
This is where they're going to test the perseverance of Northwestern. At this point, it almost seems like everything has gone Maryland's way since that first bout. How is Northwestern going to respond? It's got to start here with Chumbley.
Just one takedown for Chumbley would tie things in our third period. Michael North still a bit more work to do if he wants a riding time point. Goes over the top of Chumbley. He's now got North at his back. So what does Chumbley do to maintain the advantage position he has there? But instead, it'll be a stalling that brings both wrestlers back to middle circle. Chumbley. 70 more seconds in this third period to leave it all out there. Goes for the legs, tries to get the flip, and he's awarded that takedown that ties things up in the third period.
That's exactly what I said. Chumbley right there can swing things in his favor.
An escape point puts Michael North back on top. And he's looking for the pin position. You can see Clemson wants it too. Both coaches emphatic here as the 1 point escape for North. North almost has the pin for a second, now has him in position. 3 points for North. Can he get the pin? Michael North right on top of Chumbley. They want it right in front of his home coaches. North doing everything he can to keep him in that position, and Chumbley trying to get out of it. Not awarded yet. Clemson can't believe it. And Michael North gets the pin for the Terps. Well, he couldn't finish it off against Zach Matten, but putting an exclamation point on the pummeling is Michael North, and he gets an upset here at 157.
Can you believe the noise in this building right now? Sitting there waiting with North on top of Chumbley. First the takedown, everyone erupts, and you're just waiting right there in that position, so close to the pin, and you knew when he was going to get it. But Northwestern has been looking for two unranked guys going at it right here in the 174. This one could be a momentum swinging match right here.
And a momentum swinging player there for Maryland, but getting it quick Off of that one is David Ferrante, the redshirt junior for Northwestern, and one of the team captains he's going against for Maryland. It's Dom Solis. Solis hasn't had the success he's wanted yet this year wrestling, but he hasn't competed in a match since November 20th. Solis getting worked on now by Ferrante. Ferrante early advantage with the riding time. Ferrante now over 50 seconds in riding time. Ferrante out of Huntley, Illinois. He was limited to just 8 appearances last year with dealing with some injury. It's already 1-0 in Northwestern's only duel so far this year. That was a 1-point loss to Northern Illinois, as the Wildcats are making their Big Ten opener for this season today here in College Park. Trying to get the flip onto Solis, and he's got it for a second. Solis again defensively to avoid that. Ferrante off the jump looking to get Solis into a pin position. And they'll bring them back to the middle. Between David Ferrante and Dominic Solis. Ferrante starting again on top.
Caution, Solis.
Solis gets the caution. We'll have to slow things down here on the start against Ferrante. Onto his feet is Solis again, and just manages to not get the escape point as Ferrante goes for the left leg. Working quickly here is Ferrante over top of Solis.
It's a really good job not letting Solis get those escape points.
And he was right there too, because Solis broke the hand grip that Ferrante had over him, and then Ferrante just grabs the leg away from Solis to keep him in possession.
He's been in control in this first period, that's for sure.
You can see the hand pinned back there of Solis. Ferrante doing a good job nullifying that left-hand grip that Solis could get. And Solis gets it back there as he tries to work up. Solis just working for the escape, as this first period has been almost entirely about Ferrante's riding time. Still going into the favor of David Ferrante. And being bailed out by the whistle is Dom Solis. Well, Ben, we had a 3-minute first period, and 2 minutes, 53 seconds of that was Solis kind of being the victim of some great riding time for Ferrante.
Yeah, and if you're Solis, you might have to be a little bit thankful at this point, just a 3-point deficit, because that first period was dominated by Ferrante. Of course, that riding time plays a factor later, though.
Solis trying to rework that edge that Ferrante has in riding time. And back on top is Solis. Solis working onto a setting position, trying to flip over Ferrante, who only has his 3-point lead, even though it feels like he's been in control for all of this bout so far. Ferrante working to break free. Solis won't let it happen.
He's got that leg wrapped now.
Flip there from Solis. And working up is Ferrante. And watching out for Ferrante's head is our referee. And Solis kind of had him working there. It was quick hands from Solis to flip around Ferrante, but the whistle from the ref for cautionary reasons kind of put Solis back on top.
Some couple nice adjustments from the second period to the first period for Solis. Gonna have to just find a way to keep that momentum swinging his way.
Solis has cut almost a whole minute off of Ferrante's riding time. Against one takedown would tie things for Solis.
And Ferrante has done a good job of nullifying
going up and bringing him down is Solis.
Solis has tried to do. Got close to the takedown right there for Solis. Ferrante just able to not surrender any points right there.
He did maybe the best effort we've seen from Solis so far, too. Let's get Ferrante airborne. Solis now has cut almost 2 minutes off of riding time. And Ferrante will now have to make up the riding time in the third period if he wants that extra point. So a dominant start to the second period, but in the end, it's Solis with a couple big moves, no points yet. But that doesn't really show the impact that Solis, one of the team captains for head coach Alex Clemson, had for Maryland in that second period.
Good resiliency in that second period, showed the adjustments and showed a little bit more effort right there. Just, not going to keel over and let Ferrante get things done easily here. Now we got a whole nother period to go. Things can change at any moment, just a 3-point deficit.
That's
Maybe
certainly
get the point right here and escape.
The closest we've seen going into a third period today. As we mentioned, we started this afternoon with 4 tech falls and then a pin. And the first point for Solis, and making a quick 4 points to put Dom Solis into the driver's seat. An escape and a takedown gets it done for the captain.
Right on cue. He said how quickly it can change. Got the escape and the takedown, and all of a sudden he's in the lead 20 seconds into the third period.
Solis trying to get Ferrante onto his back right there in pin territory. He's getting it. The count is on for Ferrante, who gets out of it. It's 2 points awarded for Ferrante there. They'll call it a reversal.
Clemson wants him to turn him left. He wants to get him on that right shoulder. You can see him pointing that way.
Officially 2 for Ferrante, or 2 instead, I should say. The reversal goes for Solis, so give him now a 3-point cushion as the riding time. Ben, this riding time was almost 3 minutes in favor of Ferrante. It's about to be flipped for Dominic Solis. Solis, a 6-3 lead, working on the perimeter as Ferrante tries for the reversal, but they'll say it's out of the circle first. As Clemson taking a second to speak with Solis right now, a critical final 40 seconds in this third period, our only period that won't end by a tech fall or a pin unless Solis can get him back on his back. Solis looking for another pin. Oh, down to the wire here at 147. 20 seconds left in the third. Solis trying to go defensively. Riding time into his favor. He won't get the point. But if he can just force Ferrante, as you can see Clemson right there wanting to get them back into the middle. With 10 seconds left, it's going to have to be Ferrante working lightning speed to get a takedown or some kind of points on Solis. Final 10 seconds. Solis just going to try and get the riding time, hold Ferrante down. Solis will hold on here as the crowd stands to their feet. The buzzer sounds, and we're rocking here in College Park. 5 straight bouts won for a Maryland team looking for their first win in program history over Northwestern. The captain, Dominic Solis, gets it done at 174. Make it Maryland.
That's unreal perseverance right there from the team captain.
The effort there that you want to see, and it comes at a perfect time for Maryland to keep things going as it's another Northwestern ranked versus Maryland unranked competition between number 25 Troy Fisher of Northwestern taking on Maryland's Chase Mielnik. Here at 184, 3 bouts left to go, and now a sizable advantage for Maryland here that Northwestern will have to try and make up. Mielnik just 1-3 in duels so far this season. He's going against Fisher, who lost his only dual meet to Northern Illinois' Matt Zuber back before the new year. Going quick. There is Fisher, and he has Mielnik on his back for a second. Hasn't had the positioning, though, to put the pressure down on Mielnik, who now has one shoulder up. Moving quick on his back is Mielnik to avoid a dangerous position.
Got close early.
Mielnik grabbing on the left leg of Fisher as Fisher tries to stand up with it. Mielnik on looking for the reversal here. Got to be careful when he gets onto his back. Mielnik still working on the left leg of Troy Fisher, redshirt senior from Garden Plain, Kansas. Standing up here is Mielnik, who gets thrown down on the reverse spin from Fisher. Both wrestlers will let go simultaneously, and no points awarded with under a minute left in the first period. Mielnik trying to lose the hand position at the top with Fisher and then go down for the legs, but Fisher will attempt that one first. To no avail. He'll try to go again, though, on the right leg. And the flip around again. We've seen that once already from Mielnik. He can't hold it, though. Final 15 seconds in what's been an energized first period, but no points to show for it. Neither wrestler will try the leg one more time, as that will bring us to the end of our first period. And so far, through 3 minutes, Ben, it's been Chase Mielnik holding his own right now with the number 25 ranked Troy Fisher.
That was about as good as it gets for a first period with absolutely no scoring right there. Just good, really good aggression from both sides.
Starting back on top is Mielnik. No riding time in either way yet. That will change right here. And they will award escape to Troy Fisher, so the first points of the bout. Fisher working fast on the legs again. It's been Mielnik working to sweep them away in a defensive strategy. Wrestlers back up. Fisher goes for the legs, and Mielnik will take it into his own for a second, and Mielnik gets the takedown. Another advantage for Maryland. And Coach Alex Clemson unhappy with the official review right there, and you can see him, Ben, the whole crowd here could hear how he wanted them to play on, and Mielnik to solve the advantage he was building up after the takedown.
And that's why Clemson is so frustrated right now. He felt like Mielnik was in a position to maybe gather some more points or really get into a dominating position. And, of course, riding time now in favor of Mielnik, and we know how much that matters. And if you can build that up as much as you can in this second period, puts you in a good position for the third.
So it looks like they're taking an official review if there was an escape point awarded, I believe, for Fisher. You can see Clemson speaking with Mielnik, though, right now. And Clemson even looking over at Storniolo, but right there, highly competitive with both wrestlers up the mat. And spinning around, they thought that right there it would have been Mielnik who could be awarded the escape point.
It looks like they're taking away the takedown from Mielnik. That's what the review was for.
So we'll see both wrestlers waiting to hear the fate decided. And what's actually a pretty big decision too, Ben. We only have 3 minutes and change left if you include the third period to come. And if Mielnik can get those takedowns still on the board, would really put him in the driver's seat going into the final 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's a big swing right there and a big blow for Mielnik and Maryland. You have the lead, and suddenly that's wiped off the board. You got to play from behind again.
Only 1 point though for Fisher. So even if that takedown taken away for Mielnik, an escape point, reversal, takedown, mat return would all put him back into the lead. And Ben, 3 matches left to go. We're at 184 right now, and then we'll have 197 and 285, where Maryland will have a lot of talented wrestlers. But the deficit is not you can still come back from it if you're Northwestern here. It's got to start, though. You need some kind of points, and at least a major decision at 184. Back on top, threatening for a leg swing is Fisher. Our first challenge of the game comes from head coach Alex Clemson right there as he throws it onto the mat.
Now this is interesting, Ryan. I mean, we just saw a takedown wiped off the board, and that one wasn't as clear. We didn't see as much argument from Storliano. And then, of course, Clemson right here, and instantly throwing that. He was not happy with the call right away.
I didn't even know. You see that one come flying into the screen right there. As in the back left corner, it's Fisher, which was called the first takedown of the match again after the first one from Mielnik was erased. And that's Clemson's point right there. If you're going to erase Mielnik's, that one from Fisher has to be erased as well for Northwestern.
And you knew that challenge was coming right away. As soon as the ref put up his 3 fingers, Clemson so loudly, the whole building said, no way. Did not believe that to be a takedown right there, and him giving some encouragement to Mielnik, who's wrestled pretty nicely here against 25th ranked Fisher.
And on the other side, we see Matt Storniolo again right there, and they'll be corrected on the challenge. Clemson happy with that decision right there, but again, it is a different approach between 2 head coaches, even speak with their players. It's back in anyone's 184 bout right now with Fisher with just a 1 point lead.
That's just Clemson looking out for his guy, and Mielnik right there, seeing what he thought wasn't the takedown and instantly having his back and get him back in just a 1 point deficit instead of 4.
Mielnik looking for the right leg for a second, but goes back up. Mielnik, Fisher grappling at the head before Fisher looks for the right leg. Final 15 seconds of the second period. Can anyone escape with points? Besides that escape from Fisher early, that's all we have on the scoreboard right now. And they can't. Both wrestlers will just grapple it out here and get ready for the third period in a crucial 2 minutes, especially if Northwestern wants to make the comeback. And escaping it quick with fast hands. Tying it up at 1, Chase Mielnik gets the escape. Mielnik looks left leg, can't get it though. Up and down onto the mat, both wrestlers go. Fisher gets the right leg, wanting the takedown and gets it right there. That one will count for the redshirt senior, Troy Fisher. And now he is the lead, 4-1. Escape point awarded for Chase Mielnik. Mielnik trying to go legs. Left arm of Fisher in the way of that. Mielnik trying to extend the streak for Maryland. 6 straight weight classes won by Maryland. That's in thread here with 57 seconds left in the third period of 184. Riding time won't be a factor in this bout. Mielnik aggressively goes for the legs. On the bottom again is Mielnik. A reversal here for Mielnik would also tie things up at 4. But a takedown from Fisher could do things here with 20 seconds left to go. It's do or die time from Chase Mielnik. And be careful with that head. We have a referee right there who might call it for cautionary reasons, but they'll let them play on. And Fisher looks like he'll hold on. You need a reversal right now if you're Mielnik, and you need it fast. Mielnik just can't get the flip over, and that's how we'll end at 184. Northwestern hasn't been able to find points since 125, but Troy Fisher gets it done here at 184 to put the Wildcats back up on the scoreboard.
That's huge. I mean, just a must-have, if you will, for Fisher and this Northwestern team. It's getting late, a little bit early here. We got 2 more.
In the country, the only wrestler to score points against Michigan on Friday, now going up against Evan Bates, the redshirt sophomore for Northwestern. Smith jumping and moving quick. He's got his first takedown on Smith. Bates back up, and he'll get an escape point. 3-1 in favor of Jaxon Smith. Just the sheer power we've seen from Jaxon Smith. And they'll give him 3 points for another takedown that Bates gets out of quickly, but still a takedown for Smith, so 6-1 his advantage. Jaxon Smith made it all the way to the quarterfinals last year at 197 in the NCAA championship. He's had success so far this year. We mentioned 4-0 in dual meets and placed second at both the Tiger Style and Cliff Keen Invitationals, taking place in November and December. Another escape from Evan Bates makes it 6-2 in favor of Smith. Smith gets out of it. Bates tries to catch Smith off guard, but Smith now with the head pin on Bates. We'll bring him back into the middle between Jaxon Smith and Evan Bates. Bates, the redshirt sophomore from Chesterton, Indiana. He's got experience against Maryland wrestlers. This is a Northwestern team that didn't take on the Terps last year, but in the Big Ten championships, it was Bates who beat Maryland's Kevin Makosi to advance in that Big Ten championship. Now getting a chance to take on a higher-ranked Maryland wrestler, that one being Jaxon Smith here at number 5. Smith moving back and getting up and standing. No escape point awarded. Final minute and what's been a high-scoring first period compared to our recent bouts. Flipped around is Smith, and now over the top. And they'll award him 3 points for Jaxon Smith. That one given for a near fall. Smith will put on the riding time here by being in a position over Evan Bates. Smith with a hold on Bates' right arm. Trying to flip him over into that pin position would be Maryland's second of the afternoon. funny again. Storniolo watching on from the Northwestern bench. Alex Clemson pacing around the Maryland bench and the Maryland square that they have going on there. And over a minute of riding time for Jaxon Smith as we enter the second period. You see right there, just Smith working on the reversal, and that's when he started adding on the riding time, where he's at a minute 7 right now. Didn't really do it until the later stages of that first period. But already with a 9-2 advantage.
They did a good job in that first period, kind of just taking control.
Escape point awarded to Evan Bates. Back down by 6. Smith with the head on Bates. Both wrestlers restart from the middle of RM. Smith wanted the left leg. Defensively stopped out by Bates. We'll get over top. Another takedown comes from Jaxon Smith. He now holds a 9-point advantage.
And he's trying to get that position maybe to even go for a pin at some point, but already 12-3. Might be thinking about tech fall.
You could see
Gotta
it right.
get it done if you're Smith.
Yeah. You could see it right there, trying to pull Bates onto his back, but the escape point again comes from Evan Bates.
It's one of those situations you can't just win with escape points, but that's where Bates is getting them right now.
The riding time well in Smith's favor as well. Have to let the third period play out to see if that one can get extended or if Bates can make up some of that. Only a minute 34 right now. And fighting back and forth between Smith and Bates. Bates thinking about going low. Smith trying to use the right hand while stabilizing with the left. 7 seconds. This first period could end similar. The second period could end similar to our first. Right here, and that's how it will. Like that most recent takedown, it's still Smith with an 8-point advantage. So, Ben, if Bates wants to keep this bout alive or keep Northwestern's hopes of winning this match here today alive, he has to do it quick now with the big deficit he's facing.
Yeah, at this point, Smith, I think, kind of jockeying for position a little bit, kind of looking for the opportunistic time to go for another takedown or maybe even end this whole thing.
Smith looking defensively here. Again, 4-0 Smith is in dual meets this season. And getting another big takedown there as he starts thinking about tech fall territory in what would be Maryland's 4th tech fall of the afternoon. Up 11, and another big 3 points for Jaxon Smith. The escape, though, evens things up a bit more with Bates. It's now a 13-point lead for Smith. He's got riding time in his favor. If he can maintain it, it should be 14.
1 minute left in the bout.
Smith looking for that final takedown, though, to end our match at 197. Just one takedown would do it. 47 seconds to try and get there. Bates tries to even it out, though. And Smith will grab him and put it down there for the final takedown. It's Jaxon Smith doing what Jaxon Smith does. A tech fall to move to 5-0 on dual matches this season and give Maryland now up to a